Welcome to Kodiak Farms. We're back with another episode of UMRV, Upper Mississippi River Valley, and we got lots of equipment moving around on the farm today. We've got our planters that we've been getting all set up. We're ready to fill some seed in there, but before we do that, we've purchased yet another new vehicle for the farm here. We've gone all out and gotten ourselves a 9RX 640 here, and its first job is going to be to take this Pro Force out and start spreading some lime on those new fields that we got. I'm hoping to be able to cover quite a few acres. If we fill up both of these planters, we should free up a hopper out of this semi and be able to get it out in the field there. We've already filled the lime in those front hoppers, so I'm hoping we're going to be able to make some progress here and get at least one field done. I've got, let's see, I created an entrance to field 48 so we can send this guy on his way, and we'll check back in with him in a little bit. And speaking of field 48, we went ahead and got our manure spreader out there. I'm topping off digestate in this tanker so we can get that out to the field. I'm sure we're going to need some more of it here soon. And we've got our mixer wagons going full force now. We did skip a day ahead here. We're still in March. I know we want to get this planting started, but I thought we'd do a little bit of field work and do all of this prep that we've got without moving the clock forward too far, because we've got just so much work to do on the farm that if we don't stay ahead of it, we're gonna get behind and we'll be into April and drowning in work to do. So let me get this auger over here and see if we can fill the seed up. It's always a little bit tricky to find a realistic unloading zone there, but we got it. Looking good. And that should about top that one off. Now, what I'm going to do, I think we're going to back up and try and get a little bit closer to the 8RX to top its seed off. It's not nearly as low, but it is in need of some additional seed. So if we just work our way over here, looks like AI worker Betty is out of digestate most likely. So hopefully we're almost done filling that and I can send that semi down over there. This thing could use a laser to see where the unload is happening. All right, I think that's all we have. So I'm gonna put this thing away. We did not use up all the seed in that hopper just yet, which is fine. But what we need to do is get this sent out to field 48 as well, because we've got the lime spreader on its way out there, and we're gonna need to spread some more lime, and I want to get all of our equipment moving out that way sooner than later. Now, actually, we sent the lime spreader to 48, but I meant to send that to field 47 so that we weren't working in the same field as the manure spreader. My bad. Well, we'll send the semi to the right field, and then hopefully I can get that spreader out of the way before this truck gets there. Now, we're only half full. I think half full's going to be enough to keep things going for quite some time. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take off here with this semi, because otherwise we're going to be just doing a lot of sitting around waiting for it to fill up. Half full does tend to last quite a while here. I just want the driving to destination, and we are in field 48 with the slurry spreading right now. So let's get the lids all closed down here and hop out onto the road. I think one of the nice things about where we purchased these new fields is that it's a straight shot down from the farm. So our equipment just has to run all the way down this road. There's very little chance for anything to get hung up or have any hiccups of any kind. It's been quite nice. I'm going to go ahead and rejigger this to field 47, so we're going to the right place with this vehicle. Now, unfortunately, this field already has the lime spread texture on it, but the lime has definitely not been spread, at least not on the bulk of this field. So we're going to have to just live with that, trust in course play to know where to go and to do the right things. Trying to think, what else do we have going here besides these two pieces of equipment? Not a whole lot. I think we are going to start our planting season up by the house there, though, because we've got so many fields that are all ready to go up there, and that'll give us some time to continue to work on things down in these fields if we need the field work to kind of bleed forward a bit. I'm not going to hold up the time the whole way here. I do want to get those planters moving. I'm kind of excited to tackle that. I'm not yet decided if I'm going to run both planters in the same field or go for one in each different field. It might be easier to do both in the same in the one way, and then it might actually be easier to run them separately so we don't have to worry about them running into each other. I'll have to think about that here for a minute. Let's see here. Not on a field. Let's pull just a little bit further forward. Course play. We're going to do 2 headlands with this giant thing. I think that should work out fine. We're going to start working on the centers. Generate. And I'm looking down here at this squiggly weird part, and I'm wondering if we just go up to 3 headlands instead for this field, if that would work a lot better for us. Let's see what it does. It's still got some weirdness down there, so let's go down to 2, and we'll do up-down direction of manual and see if it goes up and down, if we get a better layout. I think that's going to be better. It's probably more turns, but it's probably going to be a lot less of a headache when it comes to the type of turns that we've got. So I'm going to let him go and do his thing. And it looks like this guy's here and ready to go. So we might as well just stop that driver. And then we've gotten out here to the field with the slurry tanker. So let's see if we can top off our manure spreading operation. 75,000 gallons almost of digestate. Should go for a little while, I think. There we go. All topped off. We'll just pull this guy right off into the middle section here where he's going to be nice and out of the way for the time being. Ground's pretty flat here. I'm not too worried about leaving him hanging there. And this guy is got a ways to go on this field. I'm kind of trying to determine how much longer this course has actually got to run. 50 minutes. That's a good chunk of time. These fields are bigger than they looked on the mini-map when we bought them. So we'll be going for a while here. That's good. That's good. Just checking over here. I want to see this guy get started. We are doing the headlands last, so we should start digging in here to the up-down rows. There it is. And this is only going to take less than 30 minutes to do the whole field, although we will have to refill this lime spreader a few more times, I think, than the slurry spreader, but we'll see. Maybe not. But this 9RX seems to be doing a great job pulling this. We're getting decent speeds here, up to 15 miles an hour. Do we have a top speed set in course play, I wonder, for this guy? I think our work speed for field work is indeed set to 15. I think I'm going to try and bring this up to 18 miles an hour and see how it handles it. I know these articulated tractors tend to have a little bit of problems, especially at higher speeds, but this 9RX has a very slow turning speed. And I think that helps with the oscillation problem that you see with the workers. Because it doesn't, you're watching it here go around the headlands, it's not jerking around a lot, just a little bit to correct its steering. And so I think it's going to work out really well on this ProForce, and I think indeed it'll work for our tillage tractor as well. So I went ahead and got these wider tracks because I think the only time we're ever going to be using this, there's not going to be any crops that we're worrying about. So this should work out really well for what we've got planned here on the rest of this map. And just watching him turn back into a row here, it looks like we're going to get lined up nice and straight. I'm not seeing any issues whatsoever so far. which is encouraging me quite a bit. And we didn't do any kind of skip rows because this thing has such a wide working area that I didn't feel like we needed to. We've got a bit of an odd row on the outside here. It looks like we're going to try and turn here. Oh, no, that's actually the end of the row, believe it or not. So we'll see how this thing does once we kind of get into some more normal rows. We're going to not sit there and follow him around the whole time, though. I've got this guy is filling barn B, and it looks like barn C is finally full. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this over to barn A and get him moving. No point having one of our two tractors sitting around. We just pull up the menu here. We're starting to burn down our silage. We might buy another load just to get us through this month. But then next month we'll have the hay that we can cut. We'll get that in there. And taking a quick look at our cows, we're doing great. The feed is full on barn C. Barn B's got a ways to go. Barn A is getting close to full. So we're doing pretty good. We'll definitely catch up with the food that we've got in there right now. And we've been staying on top of our manure situation. So let me go ahead and get this guy. Oh, this guy is on auto drive already. If we just look here, yep, our slurry's full. Digestate is cranking. So we're doing pretty good for ourselves. I haven't decided. I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll get rid of these harvestors, or maybe get rid of one of them, spread them out a little bit. I'm not quite sure yet. I wasn't as impressed with them as the one on the main farm. If I keep them, I would have to modify them slightly, although these are set up to make silage out of grass or hay. So that'll come in handy. And just to back down here real quick to make sure everything's still moving. Our slurry spreading is about done with the first half of the up-down rows. And then it'll start filling in those gaps. So we'll be pretty good. Probably one more refill to get through the up-down rows. And then maybe another for the headlands. We're looking good here. And then at some point, I'm going to need to head on out there and refill that lime spreader. So I'm going to get this semi moving down the headland at least. Probably won't drive so much into the middle of the field the whole way down there. We'll go over here and get on the grass and bring him all the way down to the other end of the field there, because I'm pretty sure that spreader is going to run out soon. It does eat up the lime pretty quickly when it's going, especially on longer fields like this or bigger fields like this. Although I guess the rows, the way we're going right now, aren't particularly long. But I'm kind of starting to wonder how much is left in there. So we're going to just park ourselves right here. That way we're in a good position to go after that guy. And let's go ahead and, whoops, move this planter a little bit further out of the way. Hopefully that's gonna not be in the way the other way for the tractors coming through from the feeding station. And what I really wanted to do was hop on over here and just check on our capacity on this ProForce. Looks like we're down to a quarter of the hopper left, which really isn't too bad. We've covered quite a bit of this field already. We pop this up. That's kind of small, hard to look at. Let me bring up the menu here for precision farming. And if we just look here, our nitrogen's starting to look real good on field 48. And our pH is starting to fill in pretty solid here on field 47. We're maybe not quite a quarter of the way done with field 47. So not too bad, though. Not too bad. We'll see if we can get some of this done. Like I said, I'm not going to tackle all of these this year. We'll get some of them in the fall and try to spread out our lime spreading so that we're doing a few of the fields every year and not trying to get them all done at once. Let me just look here. We're at 6%, so he should be getting empty on this pass here. So we're going to jog on over here to the semi and start getting him fired up and out in the field. There it is, already emptied out. So let me see if we can pull right on up alongside this guy and empty into him. I'm going to go ahead and let the pipe out here so that I can start getting it into position. The controls on this pipe are actually quite sluggish, so it takes a few passes, at least with the mouse, to move that over there. I had been trying to use my joystick for some of this stuff, but I moved my computer over the last few days. In fact, that's why there was a couple of videos missed earlier in the week, is I'm trying to get my office sorted out a little bit differently to make life easier when it comes to my software development stuff that I'm doing during the day most of the time. And we had just a little bit of stuff in inconvenient locations between my recording setup and my working setup, where I normally swing my mic arm over to the steering wheel and such that I have set up. But when I moved all the things around, unfortunately, my USB hub stopped working and I could no longer get the mic to work. The steering wheel, the joystick, all that stuff just kind of went kaput. And I've been getting it slowly fixed up here over the last few days, but we got it good enough to start recording with the keyboard and mouse again. And we'll get back to the steering wheel here as soon as I get a chance to put everything back into place. Oh my goodness, we forgot which way the pipe folds up. Let's back up there before we cause any major harm, and we'll get the nearest waypoint going. We should be good to go. Hop into this thing before I get pelted with fertilizer. I'm sure the semi sitting on top of it isn't gonna hurt the spread pattern too much there. Sarcasm. I'm going to go ahead and just park this guy back on the headland here and wait until he's needed again. Probably won't be that long, knowing how fast stuff goes, but I've got enough in the hopper to more or less fill that up one more time. A little bit less, probably 3/4 of the way up, but it is what it is. And like I said, we need to get the seed out of here if I'm going to really haul too much more lime. So we'll see how far this lime gets us and then go from there. So just taking a look at the fields we've got left here, I think I'm going to send the 8RX over here to field 21 for our corn planting there because it looks like we're probably a little bit lower on nitrogen in this field than some of the others. And then I'm going to send the new 8R over to field 23. And that way we're going to divide and conquer and try and get everything done here at the same time when we're getting our planting kicked off. Now, I can't actually start planting until we get into April, but I figure I'll get all the equipment in place here and ready to go, and I'm going to start moving the time forward momentarily. I just wanted to make sure that I've got all my animal stuff in order before we do that, and I need to get that other manure tanker here emptied out and start hauling some of the manure out of the barns before we really go to town on moving the time forward. So we'll just do this real quick. Now, I said field 23 with this guy. Yep. Here we go. Get it pulled out there. These planters are so long. I can't imagine trying to navigate around with a DB120, which would be twice as big as this. These are plenty big, I think, for our farm. I'd rather have multiples and be able to hit things up that way than to deal with the extremely large equipment. I got lost, forgot where I was going. We're coming over here to check on our slurry. We're not actually that emptied yet. That's going to be a minor problem. Well, what I'll do is I'm going to start cranking the time up here, and I'm going to babysit some of this stuff while we keep an eye on our animals and all of these odd jobs we've got going on in these new fields, and I'll check back in a little while here. Conveniently, it looks like our slurry spreader stopped right about in the same spot as it was last time, so I should be able to just bring this semi right up behind here. If I can make this turn. Oh, we didn't quite make it. think there's an invisible collision on the front corner of this truck. But if I can just get right back in here, we can get it going without too much trouble. And we should be good to go until we get to the headland passes after this. And here he goes. Smooth sailing, my friend. You should be able to be extremely productive now. And we'll just come over here and shut this guy off. I don't know where I'm going to need him yet. He can sit here. Good a spot as any. And as long as we're at it, I'm pretty sure the Pro Force here is, yep, about empty as well. So we might as well just do all the refills while we're in that mode. Get everybody moving here. I think that this refill should cover our up-down rows at least with this guy. I'm hoping to see that we can do that and then just have the headlands left. We do have 2 headland passes though, which is quite a bit of ground to cover on a big field like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and empty this guy out, and then I think I'm gonna send the tank up to town. We'll get the tender refilled, at least with the front compartments that we have available to us. And I'm hoping that one more refill out of the semi here is going to be enough to cover the rest of this field. I think we're probably going to have to refill the spreader at least 2 more times to get done with all the headlands and everything, but we'll find out. Unfortunately, I don't have good courses set up. I'm sure that there's an easier way for this guy to get back to town. If we take a look at the map, we're right here, and normally when we go to town, I think we're sending our guy down this way. So what would be most convenient is to create another path either straight up here to join up with that, or to tackle this road, although if I remember right, this road is pretty treacherous. So we might need to work on our auto drive courses, but he can take a little bit of a detour. We're not in a hurry, and I'm just going to send this guy right back up there. We're into the 3rd day of March now, finally. Moving the days forward one at a time. Looks like we've got just another pass or so left on the manure spreading here. We've got quite a bit of digestate left in the tank, so I'm not too worried about getting this back up to the farm yet. We're almost empty here on this semi, so I think what we're going to do is I'm going to actually take this guy into the yard here, and we're going to get one of these barns emptying out just to keep things moving and grooving. I think what we're going to do is we're going to empty barn C, since I'm manually driving it right now anyway, and that's the one barn that I don't yet have an auto drive course set up to navigate the truck to and from. One of these days I'll figure out the best way to circle around here and get that set up. The only reason I don't do it right now is that I don't want it to block the door to the barn here, where I've got the auto drive drivers coming in and out with the feed mixers, and I'm just not sure I can get an auto drive course to get in there and figure that out. We've got the feed moving though. Our animals are doing great, and yeah, everything's looking good on the farm here. What happened over here? We must have hit an invisible red light. Sometimes the red lights on this map are set up in a way that the workers can't quite handle it, and they smash right into an invisible object. I've had the same issues on Tahitian County as well. Usually on this map, though, I wasn't having those problems. It was set up so that the hired help could get through, but the traffic would stop. Maybe I hit some traffic. I think I've got traffic off on this map, though. I don't know what's causing that. Either way, we've got the lime all filled up here. We're going to get this back out to the field here real quick and get our lime spreader moving again. I figure we're driving back from town. We might as well use this as an opportunity to set up an auto drive course, a shortcut here on the road that cuts through. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do the intersection part when we get down here, but what I'll probably do is just stop it here, and then we'll create all the intersection points by hand, something like that. And then I'm just gonna pull this guy through, get him out of my way enough to see what we're doing. Maybe I'll come over from this side. So first off, we're gonna have a path that just cuts straight across, and then we might as well have one that curves on in here. Something like that should work pretty well. And then we might as well have one that just turns off this way as well. So I'm going that way, I'm going that way, and I'm going straight through. Should be everything we need. And then we're gonna go ahead and just take this guy on out into the field. We need to get this spreader moving again. I'm kind of shocked, actually, given that it had half of the time to complete its field, that they're going to get done about the same time, because he's been sitting here for so long waiting for me to get back up here. But that's my fault, not the worker's fault. And we're going to go ahead and get this auger out. I think we'll put it out on the right-hand side and just try to get this all topped off. Pull in here, trying to avoid the problem we had last time where I put the auger into the side of the cart. It's a good thing that I'm not driving these pieces of equipment for real, or we'd have a lot of maintenance fees and repair costs as we bust everything up. I seem to be particularly hard on our equipment. But here we go. This should about top him off. Did I get everything out of that front hopper? I did. Look at that. Good deal. We'll go ahead and finish topping out of the last hopper there. We'll hop in here, and hopefully I can get this going without everything getting askew. I think that looks right. Yep, we're picking right back up where we left off on the headland pass. And we'll see how much additional fill we need to do here, because the headland pass that we're on right now is not the worst headland pass, because there is a bit of overlap, so it's not using quite as much material. So I'll just fold this guy back up. We'll leave him out here, and yeah, everything's moving here. It looks like our spreader did not quite get all the way around, which is unfortunate, because that means that we're gonna need another load here of lime to top him off. A little disappointed on that. I was hoping that we'd make it at least all the way back around the short part of the headlands here with what we had, but alas, it was not to be. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna top him off, get him started. We'll go back up, we'll get one last load of lime for this particular job, and we'll get all this nonsense cleaned up off camera. And I think we will catch up with y'all next time, literally in the planter, ready to go. No more goofing off. It's been, what, 3-4 episodes we've been talking about jumping right into planting. And man, we did not anticipate all the extra work that we'd have to do with getting these new fields. I always forget how uncared for the NPC fields are in Farm Sim. However, I've been really enjoying getting to expand the farm. We've got lots of equipment now, and I'm having a blast here on UMRV. Hopefully you are too. If you are, hit that like button, helps me out a lot. And yeah, that's all for today. Ketterk out.